Hello, everybody! As you probably know, it's Theredmagekro, and welcome back to Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. And so, what we are dealing with today is basically picking up Dai Shi and showing off what I have learned with him. In which you will soon find out I have a little bit of my combo relatively down, but the main problem with my Dai Shi is that I am not good at fighting against other people with Dai Shi. I've been purely doing nothing but combos. This is the arcade portion of the game, where we go up against the computers. I'll be doing good for the first couple of matches, but then you'll really see like how things start going for me relatively towards the end. And as you can probably already tell, because there's no way that I can possibly be playing this game and talking like this at the same god dang time. And that is namely because I am doing a post-commentary. Another one! No, I have way too many in my goddamn repertoire basically being done. But Dai Shi is very mobile, but like, it's also his mobility that makes it really, really difficult to relatively play him. Because sometimes you go over people, sometimes you go, you know, before, and thank you for the ding. And that can basically make it a lot more difficult for you to understand what move needs to come out where. So, Dai Shi is basically one of those characters that is very complicated in a very simplified and yet unsimplified term. Or tech, or whatever it is that I'm trying to say. There's a word that I can't seem to find. He's very complicated for being simple. You know, he has a lot of mobility, and, you know, that should make things simple for him, but because of the way he lands, it makes him more complicated than he needs to be. There we go. Let's go with that. So, Dai Shi is fun. Like, he is really fun. There are some things that you can get away with. There are a lot of things you can't get away with. And like, you know, there are a lot of like different like freaking. There's a lot to this character that meets the eye. He has a bunch of setups. He has a lot of combos. I do pretty decent on my combos, and you guys can very well see that. Like, look at that type of jazz. And the one thing that I do hate is that if you use a light while somebody is in the air, they basically are able to recover for free. Why? Power Rangers Battle for the Grid? Why? Anyways. But overall, like, Dai Shi is overall... Alright, guys. Is that lag? Did the video lag for you guys? It lagged for me. But if anything, I digress. Overall, Dai Shi has a lot of good combos, setups. That's it. If I had to say the one thing that he will trouble with, and you'll see that a little bit later down the line, is projectiles. Even with all of his gosh dang mobility and all the different ways that he can basically evade projectiles, like, look at that setup. If I played that better, or if that was a human, that would have been like a good little setup. But I'm not good with Dai Shi. I'm not good with seeing how people will react to that. So the setup is a little bit like not good in this situation. And as you can probably have seen there, I ended up pressing a button too slow, and that just basically completely stops my momentum. I mean, it doesn't stop my momentum. I mean, like, my offensive momentum. And that's kind of the downside with Dai Shi, too. Imagine if this was laggy. Would I be able to do all these complicated combos? No, I'll have to go with more simplistic combos. That's pretty much anyone and everyone. Like, this is where you'll start seeing me struggling with more projectile base. Udana is basically... Look at that. And, like, you can see that, like, if I play it right, I can do it right, but overall, I'm not doing it right because I'm not used to doing it right. And that's where, like, the complexity of Dai Shi is. It's your mobility versus the opponent's momentum and mobility. Overall, I say I do a pretty dang good job with this base combo. Oh, another thing. So, I feel like Trey of Triforia is one of those characters that's not necessarily good for Dai Shi. I love my Trey of Triforia. I think the world of him. But I think he needs to go if I want to pick up Dai Shi, which I do. And if I want to get, like, really good at the game, I could, like if anything, I don't know exactly if all the characters are balanced to a point where anyone can be considered top tier. Looking at you, freaking Tekken. No, not even Tekken. Tekken has some issues. I think Smash Brothers is like one of those games where like everyone is relatively, you know, at a point where like anyone can basically like win in those types of games. But other than that, I'm not sure if like everyone is, you know, capable of being, you know, being able to be good. And if anything, like, when it comes down to, like, Trini here, basically, Dai Shi is not a good combo assist character for her. Which is why I have her last in the team roster. And I can do very good with Trini just on her own, but her combo potential is just non-existent. As I mess up my combo with Trini there. I haven't been paying attention to my other two party members. It's been mainly trying to learn Dai Shi at this moment. And like, if anything, I feel like I was able to get 2 of those somehow. But I don't freaking remember how to do it. I don't know if like they patched the game and whatnot to stop things from being done. If they were to, like, make Trini able to, like, combo, basically down her power scaling on her, you know, attacks, on some of them at the very least, I feel like Trini would be really good. So, that's besides the point. So, if I had to pick up other characters, you know, I honestly don't know where I would start. Like, if anything, I could always go the top tier route with going with the Time Force Pink Ranger. She's really, really good in this game. Her assist is stupid ridiculous. Her combos are stupid ridiculous. It's just, like, overall, like, she would be, like, a good character to relatively have on the team. I would like Zed. But Zed has so many problems with doing his combos that I just don't want it. I don't want to. Dai Shi is already difficult enough. Quantum Ranger and Shadow Ranger are out of the question because they're also just as complicated as Dai Shi is in their own specific way. Dai Shi is complicated due to his mobility. Shadow Ranger's complexity is due to his combos. You know, and Quantum Ranger is difficult due to, like, you know, making his specials work. As you can see, that attack hit me while I was on the wall, and it felt like that there was no reason that should happen. So I feel like if I wanted to play this game and play Dai Shi, I would absolutely 100% need both of my team members to be the most basic characters in the game. Or at least basic to a point where they're able to relatively help me out. Now the characters like that, like I said, Pink Ranger sounds like she would be good. She's really basic in that way. Red Ranger, like the original Red Ranger from Mighty Morphin, would be good. Probably, I don't know who else really. Maybe Ranger Slayer? Draken? Maybe. But, you know, it's just the simple fact that if I want to get good, I need to have somebody simple. Now, I don't know if I relatively like that. I don't think that, like... It's namely because... Give me a while I cough my brains out. And if anything, like... It's namely due to the simple fact that I am the Red Mage Gamer. I play a bunch of different games. And I can't come back to this game due to the fact that the combo system is very, very wonky. Like, you know, I could go to, like, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, pick up the characters, play them in, like, a day, and basically relearn all those combos. This game, I feel like I can't necessarily do so. You know, I can go to Tekken, you know, and, you know, play my goddamn characters just the way that I've always have. I can be away from a long time from that game. Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. That game is so simple that I can pick up any character that I typically want and play them somewhat effectively. I say that, and yet I get my butt beat in that game every single time. Overall, basically what I do tend to lack in fighting games is how to use a character against a human character. Which, that's his ultimate right there, and it's very nice. You are no longer this. Other than that, relatively, like, I don't really know. Like, I love Dai Shi, I love him as a character, but overall his complexity in this game, this feels really, really off. If you know what I mean. He has so much mobility, and only really 2 people I know with that sort of mobility that's able to pull it off fast, by the way, is one, Trey of Treforia, and Drakkar. Or Draken, or whatever the frick his name is. Draken. You know, they have that little, like, dash into, like, you know, maybe, like, going up and then, like, coming down and whatnot. You know, they have, like, a couple of dashes that they can basically use in order to get closer in. They can, you know, use attacks out of it. But then there's Dai Shi, who basically has a dash forward that's slow, but he has, like, 3 moves that comes out of it. He can basically jump over you. And, which, that was cool right there. I saw him using his ultimate move, and I went and I used my not so ultimate move, my special move, and I outright beat him with just that. So that was a very cool moment when this happened, by the way. So what was I talking about? I was just talking about it and I just forgot. I got so obsessed with that one point that I was just like, whoa. And then this confused me. Draken here is second to the final enemy. And so is Mastodon Sentry, and so is Ranger Slayer. Like, they're normally, like, the last of the last. It's confusing. Like, I lost my mind when I saw this. And you're gonna see in this, like, this fight here, that I'm able to relatively get over, like, a lot of, like, cheeky stuff. There was that I couldn't get over. But it also seems like if the enemy does guess, you know, whatever it is that you're trying to do, like, you know, the claw moves in the air, those are overheads. If you try to go for that low, if he blocks that low, you're in deep doo-doo. And whatnot. Meanwhile, I feel the need to bring out Triphoria. I don't know, like there's his mobility. You can see that he has quite a bit of mobility, as I did not mean to do that right there. But yeah, Triphoria has a bunch of mobility that he basically has. But overall, Dai Shi just has more complicated. Also, could people actually break out of that grab? Before. I don't remember that being a thing. I feel like if you're hit with a command grab, that, like, breaking it should be difficult, if not at all.
Out of my way. You're not supposed to.
You know, I know that, like, in Tekken, a couple of command grabs are 1+2s and whatnot. But a lot of command grabs can also be broken in that game. But they're much, much difficult, unless you actually know how to break them. It's weird. And, you know, Trini's not bad, but, you know, she needs... That's something that she doesn't need her kid having. When everybody else relatively, like, has so much more that they can do. And that's another thing. A lot of the older characters don't have a lot that they can do. And these 3 new characters have so much that they can do. I mean, look at that. That's so freaking cool, though. Oh my lord, like, this game gets me every single time. I just freaking love it.
You are no one.
But I keep taking breaks and I just can't get, like, the system down. And then, like, there are those types of moments where, like, you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and I'm going to hit the person, but the person doesn't come in yet, and then you just do it the opposite way. And it's like, that's not how I wanted this to go. But, yeah, no, like, overall, like, that was also a really cool moment. Where she tries to use her ult, I don't use my ult, and I actually beat it outright. It's nice. I love it when those moments happen. And then this is stage 6. A gold ranger. The only gold you'll be seeing is at the bottom of my boots. You are a fool! I could have offered you untold power, but instead I shall relish your destruction. What is this ruse? You're no ranger! Indeed, I am your doom! Dai Shi is so freaking cool. Like, seriously. Like, I tend to favor the villains of these types of games a lot more than I do the heroes. And that's mainly because the heroes are just like, oh, we're on the side of good. We have to win. Ooh. And I'm just like, I don't want that. And then he calls this Megazord, and I'm just like, oh, foot! And then, like, you know, I'm trying to, like, get in, but I get crushed by the foot. And Dai Shi is probably, like, one of the better characters to, like, try to get in on people. But I don't know what went on there.
Who's next?
But it does happen. And then just look at the Zero Ranger, like, he is so fluid with his dashes and whatnot. And overall, like, his attacks just feel really fast, they're very, very nice. And then, like, there's also push blocking in this game. Overall, this is a good game. Like, if anything, like, Dai Shi, yeah, no, he's complicated. The 3 new people are complicated. That's not a bad thing. I just don't have time to relatively be putting into this game. And if I do want to put time into this game, now what about all the other games? I want to play Dragon Ball FighterZ, I want to play Tekken, I want to play Blaze Blue, I keep going for Quantum Shift. Cross Tag Battle. Did I say Tekken? I don't know. No, and then there's Guilty Gear that'll be coming out too, and I personally like Guilty Gear a little bit more than all other fighting games. Because I love those characters. Overall though, like, I do like this game. If I had to like rate this game in particular, it's definitely my, I would say top 5. But honestly, like, let's be honest, I played a lot of fighting games. Blade Strangers, I have Cross Tag Battle, Blaze Blue, Dragon Ball FighterZ, I have Fighting EX Layer, Guilty Gear Zerd, I played Injustice and hated it. Jump Force, if you can consider that a fighting game. King of Fighters 14. Mortal Kombat 11, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, Skullgirls, Tekken 7, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. I play a lot of different games. And I'm not good at those games. Well, no, I'm not great at those games. I'm good at them, I'm not great. Pitiful. Step down, this world is mine! I am Lord Zed, Emperor of Evil. You have seen the breadth of my domain and the terrors I employ. Now, if you wish to claim me for yourself, you will have nothing! Coward! Despair, O Zed, for your death is at hand! Lovely. Truly lovely. And like, you know, one, I would love to pick up Zed, like I said earlier. But they just like upright nerfed him dead. And it makes me so sad. Like, look at this. Look at that. Like, I can't get in on that. And if I try to get in on that, I'm screwed. And then, look at me. I'm able to dodge those swords by being on the wall. But Zed can just basically do whatever the frick he wants. Like, oh my lord, this game is just great. And then I don't even know why that didn't hit. Because that was the first hit that should have hit him and got him out of that. Maybe he can't be hit by that. Maybe you have to just outright dodge it. I don't play this game enough to know. Overall, this game is fun. And just watch how much work I put in with Trini. Like, Trini being like one of my more favorite characters, I just do so much with her. But there's just like not a lot that I can do to like relatively like combo and kill stuff. I also should have activated the Megazord at some point. But I'm not used to that either. And not to mention that he has a lot of health bars and we have to fight just him. When Zed's not even like a really good character in the game to begin with. And like, look at that. That's great. How many combos have we seen Zed actually do? He's just been standing back doing that one move for the most part. And for the most part, like, yeah, just that. Lord Zed was the first main villain, and yet he basically, it's really sad that he gets like, you know, like look at that. That's Dai Shi's weakness, projectile. And I'll just let that little thing that they do. The little putty and whatnot. And like, you know, he should be at least strong, but not too strong. I don't know if he was too strong. But if anything, this is where we're going to end it. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next recording. See ya! All will fall before Dai Shi!